So with all of these photographs coming back from the Hubble Space Telescope seemingly on a weekly basis with their fantastic detail, doesn't it seem really weird that the astronauts from the Apollo mission stated quite categorically that they couldn't see any stars at any time when they were in space between the Earth and the Moon, and also when they were actually on the Moon's surface? It just seems mad. And guess what? It is mad, because one of the recognised ways of navigating is simply to use the stars, and this applies for spacecraft and satellites as much as for earthbound navigation. Therefore one has to be able to see the stars from space. Now what I'm going to show you is some interviews with the original astronauts from the Apollo mission where they deny having seen any stars whatsoever. I'm going to show you some interviews from astronauts where they actually admit having seen the stars, and then I'm going to show you image sequences that were taken from the International Space Station, and you can certainly see some stars in those. And you can see these stars from the ISS even when the Earth is in day. And this is important because a lot of people have turned around and said, oh, it's the glare from the Earth and the Moon, it swamps out the stars and you can't see the stars. Well, these photographs that were taken from the observation cupola of the ISS really do disprove that statement. You can see the stars all the time. So this blows the Apollo fiction into a cocked hat. Now watch this.
Mr. Armstrong, I do realise that when you were on the moon you had very little time for gazing upwards, but could you tell us something about what the sky actually looks like from the moon, the sun, the earth, the stars, if any, and so on?
The sky is a deep black when viewed from the moon, as it is when viewed from cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the moon. The Earth is the only visible object other than the sun that can be seen, although there have been some reports of seeing planets. I myself did not see planets from the surface, but I suspect they might be visible.
When you looked up at the sky, could you actually see the stars and the solar corona in spite of the glare?
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see.
I don't remember seeing any.
Neil, you were a little bit concerned, you said, about stubbing your toe.
Stars like in space? Like, are they just brighter than on Earth, or how would you describe it?
They're brighter, but they're different. A lot of things different about them. One, you don't have the atmospheric distortion, so they don't twinkle, right? So you see lots of points, and you see lots of points, and that literally millions of them. There's, the thing about Carl Sagan, billions of stars. There really are billions and billions of stars, and you can see them. In fact, they're so numerous, it's very difficult to pick out the constellations you and I see here on the ground. And I live in Colorado, and you get up on a clear night in Colorado up in the mountains where there's no light, and you can see all these stars. Well, multiply that by 1,000. That's what it's like in space. And then when you're outside doing a spacewalk, and you have that one or two opportunities where you can let your eyes adjust, you can start to notice that some of the stars have colors we don't see here on the ground. So you see these pastel colors, light yellows, light pinks, light oranges, even light red ones, and light blue. There's all kinds of colors that you can see in these stars that you can't see here.
So here's some really nice footage from the cupola of the International Space Station, and as you can see, there are plenty of stars. Oh dear. What's going on here? And the problem is that you can even see these stars, as I'll show you in a minute, against the rising sun. You can even see nebulous gas in the distance. And you can see quite a lot from up there. As the man said, billions and billions of stars. Now, we're not used to seeing this from NASA. Every footage we get, say EVA footage, is a black sky. Every footage we're seeing from the moon is a black sky, with maybe the Earth in it, as Mr. Armstrong admitted, but hey, I don't think it was the Earth, I think that was pieced in, but there we go. So here is this truly beautiful sight we have of stars, galaxies, nebulae streaming across the sky, and the occasional bit of northern lights, which was the purpose really of taking these photo sequences. And NASA combined these into a nice film, and you can see these elsewhere on YouTube. There's nothing particularly special about it. And as you can see, most of them were taken over the night sky. This one's either near sunrise or sunset. And the reason for that was they were looking to see the northern lights, and the northern lights really are only visible at night because they're a relatively weak illumination compared to the stars. The stars are much brighter. Now, any second now, those of you who believe that it's the glare from the Earth and the glare from the moon that hides the stars are going to have to avert your eyes, because here comes a short bit about it's not quite there yet, but it's a short clip of film that shows you the rising sun with the stars still visible. So if you want to believe that glare hides the stars, hide your eyes now. And oh look, we could still see the stars in the corner of that picture against the full glare of the sun. Now here is what we're used to seeing from ISS videos. We're used to seeing no stars. Very strange this. And this is supposedly a GoPro video taken by one of the astronauts. In a minute it'll pan back and you can see where are all those beautiful stars that were in the photo sequences we've just seen. They're nowhere to be seen. There's no reflection in his helmet of any stars. There's no stars behind him. For my money, the footage like this is fake, and it's been done simply to bolster the original Apollo videos and Apollo pictures where the sky was completely black and completely blank, and the original astronauts in their interviews lied through their teeth when they said that they couldn't see anything in the sky other than the Earth and the sun.
Harmonic, harmonic, ionic, bionic, atomic. It will astonish you. It's magical and casual, actual but classical, practical and factual. Harmonic, harmonic, ionic, bionic, atomic. It will astonish you. It's magical and casual, actual but classical.